Well, hello and good night, my fellow Dream-A-holics out there. Um, this is, I just, went to go and see that movie called The Joker. And I don't know how many of you guys have actually seen the movie. If you haven't seen the movie yet, I promise you, I'm not going to spoil it for you. I promise there will be no spoiling tonight. There's spoiler alert, no spoiling tonight. But uh, it was a brilliant movie, but extremely dark and it's kind of sad. You know what I mean? It's one of those movies where you go in, it's like it's got you gripped, but the at the end of it, you're not sure. You almost kind of need a hug, when you almost need a hug when you're done. Now, um, what I want to share with you are some of the because I was looking at the movie and I'm thinking to myself, man. Uh, it really brought me to that place where you look at perception and the way that just by having a slight shift in perception, how it can completely take your life to a great place or a totally destructive place, just from perception alone. Now, I remember when I was looking at it, and I'll give an example, without giving out content from the film. um, this is an origin story of the Joker and how the Joker actually became the Joker. And it was in the story. By the way, before I actually get into all this stuff, I just want to say, if you're enjoying this, if you like this post or whatever, plus like or your comments in here. I want to get your feedback on how you felt about it. If you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, now you probably want to go see it. But I want to get what your thoughts are on what I'm sharing with you. And I want you to keep thinking as I go through this with you. How has perception either held you back from getting from going after things that you want? I guess how has perception held you back from that? Or on the flip side of it, it's how has perception propelled you forward? Because perception, the way that you see something, is either going to move you forward or it's going to move you backwards and make you stand still. The way that you see something. So coming back to the movie, so in this movie, he was this gentleman who wasn't quote unquote the Joker yet, because this is an origin story. This is about how the Joker actually started. What was it that caused him to become this guy, this arch villain called the Joker? And so starts out as a very nice guy, but there's a bunch of things that happen along the way that caused him to shift the way that he saw the world, right? And some of the key things that I got were one, the feeling of being abandoned, the feeling of being ignored, the feeling of not being loved, the feeling of not being seen, the feeling of being invisible. And if anybody can relate with any of those feelings, please put it in the comments. Say, yeah, that's me, man. There have been times in my life where I felt like people just didn't see me. They didn't, or they didn't get me. They didn't understand me. There, or whatever the case may be. And because of that, it caused you maybe to shrink, to not be, to be a person who wasn't going to go out after more, who wasn't going to pursue what they really want, to somebody who wasn't going to really be everything that there was that there were that you didn't live to your fullest potential. You know what I mean? And whenever I see people as an example, when I'm doing a talk and I ask people to raise their hand, there's certain people who will never raise their hand in an audience. And some of them it's because when they were young or they were in a class when they were, in elementary school or whatever, somebody may have cracked a joke at them. Somebody made them feel like they were less than something, you know what I mean? And, I remember for myself, I'll give you an example. It was when it came to math. I had done really, really well on this math exam, like this, and then I ended up getting this trophy for this competition, right? And then I started getting teased by some of the kids, and they were like, math, you're a geek, you're a nerd, you're a loser, you're this, you're that. And then somebody actually took my trophy and smashed it, right? I guess, and that smashing kind of inside my mind changed things for me. It was like now the idea or thought of engaging with anything to do with math, I was like, oh, man, I shunned anything to do with math. I don't want to see no numbers because I associated tremendous pain. I thought my perception was if I get good at math, then I'm a geek, I'm a loser, I'm a nerd, I'm all of these different things, I guess. And I didn't want to be that, right? Because at the end of the day, we want to feel loved, we want to feel appreciated, we want to feel recognized, we want people to appreciate us, right? And so it caused me now to all of a sudden start struggling in a subject that I was good at. And so I was a person who I wouldn't put up my hand when it came to math questions. Because, and when the teacher would come to me, even though I knew the answer, I'd be like, my heart would be racing. It's like boom, 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 and because I'm like, if I answer this question and I get this question right, people are going to be looking at me like, that I'm some kind of loser or an outcast, right? And so I started to dumb it down and play dumb when it came to, volunteering, putting my hand up. I didn't want to see, when it came to school, I didn't want to seem like I was a smart guy. I didn't want to seem like that because smart people get picked on, smart people get beat up, smart people get bruised up. And so similar to, I guess, the Joker in this movie, the Joker, or the guy who became the Joker, when after the experiences that he went through in life, now he had a reaction to that, right? And so now, as I said, perception can either take you to a good place or a not so good place. And I'm intentionally not going into detail in the movie because I don't want to spoil it for people. I know the movie just came out like 2 days ago. So I don't want to ruin it for people. So I'm going to be a little bit vague on that side. But the point is that the way, the way that you see yourself, the way that you see your situation, the way that you see what you do, the way that you see your abilities, that's all perception. And the way you see it is going to dictate what you're going to do or not do. It's going to dictate that, right? And so the question is, how do you really see yourself? I want you to really, for a moment, I want you to really think about this for a moment. When it comes to your ability from a career standpoint to do what you do, how do you see yourself? Are you good? Are you okay? Are you freaking phenomenal? Oh my God. Which one are you? And in fact, if you got something to write down with it, in fact, feel free to put it in the comment section. Like in the chat section. How do you honestly feel about yourself and your abilities? Because the way that you see it, the way that you see yourself is going to dictate how you're going to act, which is going to ultimately determine what you're going, the level of performance that you're going to come to. When you look at, even, for example, for changing gears for a second, on a business, some people say, I want to be an entrepreneur. I got this thing I want to launch. I want to make this thing happen. It's going to be really, really cool. I'm going to do all this stuff. I guess, now there's a lot of people who say it, but don't do it, right? I guess now if they say it and they don't do it, why would they not do the thing that they know in their heart they really want to do? Why would somebody hold back from doing that? Well, perception. Oh my God. I really don't know much about business. I'm terrible in sales. I can't sell. Oh my God. Selling? Oh, forget it. I'm good at what I do, but selling it, marketing it, sharing it, not happening, right? Like this for some people, right? And then, or for some people to say, well, you know what? But if I go into this business and there's other people who do the same business, maybe this thing is not, maybe the market's like saturated, and oh my God, like if the market is saturated, how can I possibly go out there and generate what I really want to generate? And here's the thing. Well, let's deal with perception. First of all, how can you saturate a market where there's somebody who is a new person is born every day, and new people are entering the marketplace every day like this, and people are out there and people are joining the workforce and for the first time at some point, you know what I mean? Every day. So how can you saturate a market where there's an infinite number of potential customers? As big as Google is, and Google's become like a verb, they don't have 100% market share, right? So just by shifting that perception, if you don't believe the market's saturated, then maybe you're going to get a little bit more aggressive about what you're, because you actually see that there is an opportunity. Because if you see there's a real opportunity, then maybe you'll actually go for it and do the thing, right? If I'm making any sense to you, put it in the chat, put it in the chat, put it in the chat. Now, the other point that I was drawing on was that fear of going to talk to somebody. Oh my God, I'm not good in sales. Oh my God, I'm not good at talking to people. Oh my God, no, 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 no. Like this, it gets, well, here's the thing. Each one of us, they say that whenever you close your ears and you open your mouth, you're actually selling. You're actually, because you're selling people on your ideas, you're selling them on your thoughts, you're selling them on your perspective, right? Because so we're always selling no matter what. I guess, so, I mean, if you had to, okay, just think about it this way. If you ever had a friend, I guess you want to go to this event. They really did not want to go to this event. They didn't want to go to this event. And then you were like, no, man, but you need to come to this event. This event's really cool, man. This event's really, really cool. I guess, and you're like, oh, God, I really don't want to go. I really don't want to go. And then you're like, no, no, come on, man, it's gonna be great. I promise you. Oh my God, yeah, yeah, yeah. And they're like, okay, fine, right? So you sold them on going to the event, right? So that was just so that was sales, but you didn't. The only different thing is you didn't get paid for it, right? So when you shift your perception of something, because I said a lot of people in sales, if you didn't make any money selling stuff, you'd be rich. You'd have a lot of people buying your stuff, because if we feel like we're giving people the hookup, no problem. But as soon as we start making money doing it, now we got a problem, right? So just by having a slight perception shift, man, I can talk to people. I have value to add. This thing could really help change somebody's life. This thing could really make a difference. This thing could really take somebody's life to the next level. This thing could really help. This thing could really help that person. As soon as you start thinking like that, all of a sudden your energy shifts, because the way that you see your activity as different, all of a sudden now you're excited and you're like, man, yes. Man, yes, I could do this. Yeah, oh yes, I could do this. And it changes the way that you feel, which changes what you're going to do, right? And so perception is an incredibly powerful thing. So I'll make two other quick points on this, and then and we'll wrap it up. And each day, by the way, I'm going to be doing a new subject each day. So tune in each night at 9 o'clock, and we'll be having some fun together right here. So please share it with friends, family, colleagues, and all that kind of good stuff. Okay. So when we're talking about the way that you perceive your abilities for going for a career, there are people who, as an example, have been in the same position at the job for a long period of time, and they've never moved up the ranks. Well, why would somebody not move up the ranks after years of being at that company? For some people, it's, well, I'm not really good enough for that other role, which is a perception, right? You know what? They'll never pick me. They'll pick somebody else. Man, this is just, there's politics in this office, and I don't really think that people are going to really pick me, because, yeah, I think they all like that. I think they all like Johnny over there or Susie over there. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna leave it to them. I'm not gonna bother going for that promotion. Yeah, 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 right? Or they're talking about, well, my God, like, I'm not really qualified to get to that point. So let's just deal with those real quick. So one, you know what I mean? Let's just say but if we flip that and said, you know what? If Susie could do that, or Johnny could do that, I could do it too. Yeah, you know what? I think I will apply for that. Just a difference of perception, right? You know what? There's politics in this company, but the owner of this company wants to grow this company. They really want to grow this thing. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to become the best, strongest, most incredible employee ever. Like, that's ever lived, baby. Ever lived. Ever lived. And I'm going to crush it. I'm going to come in early, stay late. And I'm going to make sure the owner or the management know about the situation. They know what I'm up to. They know what I'm doing. While I'm doing that, I'm also going to go out and network and connect with other people from different companies. And I'm going to see, hey, I'm going to see what's available and see what other possibilities are out there. So if these guys don't recognize my talent, then somebody else will. And I'm going to do what I need to do. But at the end of the day, I am an executive in the making. I'm an executive in the training, right? So so when you just by a shift in perception, all all of a sudden somebody who was functioning here begins to go up here. If anybody can relate with what I'm talking about, please put it in the comment section and say, yeah, man, that's the, well, talk to me, you are talking to me. All right, so the last example that I touched on, because I'm about to wrap this up, is, you know, in the area of personal life. When it comes to reaching out and connecting with somebody who, you know, somebody that you would maybe want to have in your life, and some people don't go out and approach that person because, oh my God, I'm out of that person's league. Woo! They took, man, yeah, they come from that family over there, and I who am I? Like, I just, you know, I came up from the other side of the tracks, man. Like, they'll never notice me, they'll never recognize me. Or it could be a situation where, man, that girl or that guy would be so lucky to have me. They have no idea. They will never find anybody more loyal, hardworking, supportive, got your back. Like, they'll never find anybody who will do it like me. Nobody who's going to do it like me, like this. So if you have that, see the difference in perception? But the difference in the perception is going to dictate if you're going to move forward or if you're not. That's the difference in perception. Who you see yourself as, like, who are you really? What do you honestly believe your skills and abilities are? Write it in the chat, or write it to yourself. You know what I mean? How? There's so much I could talk about with this thing, but I'm trying not to make this a 2-hour seminar. I'll just say this to you. Whatever you identify yourself as, however you see yourself, is going to dictate what you're going to do, and it's also going to determine how people around you are going to deal with you. And when you see yourself as a champion, when you see yourself as a person where no matter how great anybody else is, no matter how great anybody else has ever been, I could be equally as great, or I could do something even better. Or let's just say you had a past that had some negative stuff, like our Joker friend. You know what I mean? Like this. Well, I don't know about friend, but you know what I'm saying. Like this. But the Joker. If you had a history where there were challenges in the past, where things did not go your way, if there are challenges in the past where maybe people where people weren't nice to you, they maybe treated you cruelly, maybe they were mean, and they overlooked you and all that kind of stuff, and you say, you know what? Those people overlooked me in the past. They didn't treat me good. But you know what? I'm not going to give them the power to make me become something that I'm not. And right now, I'm determined right now in this moment that I am going to be the best at fill in the blank. I'm going to be the strongest at fill in the blank. I am going to be the smartest at fill in the blank. I'm going to be the most productive at fill in the blank. And if you make that decision, now things can change, and in a very, very big way, and a very, very fast way. I hope that you guys got some value from this. If you like this, I guess, like, well, here's an assignment for you. Here's a little assignment. I want you to just write down a list of, when you think about write down career or business, whichever you got, or if you got your little side hustle, whatever, write down career, business, health, relationships, finances. And when I say finances, I mean from an investment standpoint. I want you to take a look at each of those areas and ask yourself, honestly, what am I being in each of those areas? Could I be better? And if I was going to be better, what would have to happen? Fill that out, and I want to hear your comments. Type it in the box, or feel free to DM me. I love to actually see what you say. Have a truly powerful and blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern.